Good morning, second graders. Today we're going to start our inquiry into game design. So we'll get a chance to play some games, gain some empathy, figure out how players play the game and what they like in a game. And then the following week, we'll be able to start designing and making games. So the first thing you're going to do is we're going to go into the computer and each of you will be on one device. Once you're here on the top address bar area, you're going to highlight, delete, and type in casita, ibstem.weebly.com. Okay, once you're here, you're going to go to Dreams Lab. Now, you don't click on Dreams Lab, you actually click on this little caret. Now, once you click on the caret, it'll bring down a menu. You go to second grade STEM. Again, don't click on second grade STEM. Click on this bottom arrow and it'll drop down a menu. You're going to go to Game Design Junior Challenge. Once you're here, click on Game Design Junior Challenge, and then the guiding question for our next 3 to 4 weeks will be, how do we develop video games? So we're going to be using something called GameStar Mechanic Junior. Now, you're welcome to do this at home as well as at school. Now, once you're finished, you're going to go to GameStar Mechanic. It says, students, please log in here. Now, if you realize that you forgot the details, it's actually on the board. And I'm going to go ahead and click on GameStar Mechanic. Now, once you click on GameStar Mechanic for the students to log in, then you're going to go ahead and you have two options. You have sign in with your username, and I don't have a username. Now, I went ahead and I signed a username for everybody. For most students, it will be your first name and then 2019, no spaces, no capitalization. Some of you who have students in the same grade level who have your name. So for example, if there was a Bob 2019 and another Bob 2019, I went ahead and I put your first initial of your last name. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to show you how to log in, and then Dr. O'Leary will be giving you your sign-in information. So once you sign in, you're going to click here, sign in with your username. Okay, and then your username will be your first name. Okay, I'm going to put my last name, but you're going to put your first name, 2019. Everyone's password, every single student's password will be STEM 2019. Once you're ready, you're going to sign in. Okay, and then it will welcome you. So it says hi, and then your first name 2019. Now at this moment, I'm going to stop and I'm going to give you some time to get logged in. And if you are one of the students who finished logging in, I want you to go ahead and quietly, without announcing who needs help, but walk around and see if anybody needs help logging in. And Dr. O'Leary will also be walking around and giving some support to you as well. So I'm going to give you about 3 to 4 minutes to get logged into your Chromebooks. Now, students, if you did not get a chance, if you don't remember your username and password to get into your Chromebooks, please have a neighbor or a friend around you log themselves in, and then you can go ahead and do GameStar Mechanic Junior with your login. But if you don't remember your password, so for example, if Sally can't remember and I remember, I'm going to log into her computer for her, and Sally's going to think, okay, thank you very much, Ms. Chen, but next week I got to remember my username and password. Okay, I'm going to pause and give you some time to get logged in. Okay, so now that everyone has had a chance to log into GameStar Mechanic Junior, you're going to notice 3 different zones for GameStar Mechanic. You're going to see the play quest. You're going to get to know the game a little bit, how to play the game, how to edit the game, and every time you pass a quest, you're going to be earning something called a sprite. And a sprite is an item that you get to use during your designing and making of games. Next time I see you, we'll have a little more time to play the quests, and then we'll have some time to make quests. And then lastly, you're going to go visit Game Alley on our 3rd to 4th week to publish our games. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to go play quest. Once you're in here, you're going to go ahead and give it a second to load the graphics. Okay, and you'll notice that mine is currently locked. Yours is actually going to have an exclamation mark here. I've already started my my play quest, but you will have not. So once you're here, they're going to have some graphics for you. You can click through it, and then the first thing I want to show you is this one here. Okay, so you're going to have to start on that one and go in the order because the difficulty builds on top of each other. So now,
Hi, welcome to Factory 7, home of the game mechanics. This is where all kinds of games are made. I'm Johnsy, and this...
Johnsy, we don't have time for this. We have an emergency to deal with.
Okay, and then once you're ready, click to continue.
Amstrad, just introduce yourself. I bet our newest mechanic here can help us out.
Click to continue.
Johnsy, someone broke the hedge maze. We need to fix it before people start getting lost. I'm going to take a look now.
Whew, Amstrad's all business. But he's right, a broken maze is a problem. It's hard for players to enjoy a game if it has a broken design, after all. Okay, let me show you what all these buttons do while we go fix that hedge maze. This is your editor. Us game mechanics use this to play and create games. Let's use it to see what's going on with the hedge maze Amstrad is talking about. This first part of the maze seems to be working, but let's test it to make sure. Tap with your finger or the mouse, or use the arrow keys to guide your avatar to the goal block.
Okay, so your
We
goal,
need to get through this part of the hedge.
and I'm actually going to turn off the sound. So Amstrad's or Johnsy said, we need to get through this part of the hedge maze. Can you find a way to the yellow goal block? So here's your avatar. The avatar is the player that you control as a human. So you can use the bottom, right, left arrow, up, down, left, right arrow. If you're left-handed, you can use the WASD, so the letters WASD. That way you don't have to cross over your keyboard. So your goal, if you look around, it tells you you can use your mouse as well, but I actually want you to get used to using your arrows or your WASD. In order to get to your goal, your goal is to get to the star goal, which is here. Now, you'll probably notice that there's a few things that we need to be aware of. First thing is the hearts here. The hearts have to do with your health. So every time you interact with an enemy, a hazard is something that you shouldn't be touching, you lose a health heart. And you want to keep all your health hearts before you get to the by the time you get to the goal. So the grass, the hedge here, the bush, allows you to create a maze. So you can't actually cross over it. The flowers are considered a decoration. That means you can cross over it. So in this level, it seems fairly easy. So you don't have to say this was easy, but it will get more difficult. And it's good because it helps us kind of say, okay, let's figure out how to do this together and slowly work our way towards it. So it says mission complete. And then we're going to go to the next one. So the first one I did was a warm green garden. The next one is a dangerous green maze. So you will be going in that order.
Great! That was easy, huh? Now this next area is a little tougher, but it's still beatable. It has a few bad sprites moving around and some blocks you really don't want to run into. You'll want to avoid them.
So you'll continue
It looks like there's some hazards
in this
part of the maze.
You'll continue to explore. And remember, every time you hit a hazard or an enemy, you'll actually lose a life. Okay, so in this case, you're gonna, it tells you here, don't touch the hazards and get to your goal. So have some fun playing the game, trying different things out. And then next week, we'll start to